everybody. All right, let's go make this so you can see. All right, can you see it? Cool screen share, right? I'm doing this StreamYard thing. Still learning it, but it's kind of cool. Hey, how's it going? This is your truly Rama Screen, and I'm back with my live review of today's premiere of the final season of Star Wars The Clone Wars. Now, you asked probably, Rama, how did you get to review it so early right now? Because part of being a critic, I have the fortune of getting screeners early. So Disney Plus sent me screeners to the first two episodes. And so I'm still under review embargo for the second episode until next week. But review embargo just lifted right now for episode one. And I was going to do the whole, smooth jump cuts, well edited video review of episode one, The Bad Batch, just like my other cleaner review. But I figured, you know what? I'm just gonna do it live stream, man. I'm just gonna do it live, in front of you guys, as it happens, because the embargo lifted right when the episode premiered. So everybody right now is watching the episode, which I've just watched, and I've seen it like a couple times now. So it's already out there in the universe. I don't want to have to do the whole 3 hours of editing. But the point is, let's just get right to it, okay? But the heads up is, because of that, there will be spoilers in this video review. So heads up, yeah, this review is spoiler filled, not spoiler free, but spoiler filled. Okay, where should I start? Okay, so the episode pretty much is about Commander Cody. Now, before I share you the plot, I just want to say, I don't know about you guys. I'm sure you probably feel the same way. It's so good to have this show back, right? After what? What was the last time? Was 2014, 15, was it? Season 6, it was on Netflix, right after, because the whole thing with Disney buying Lucasfilm, there was some, but anyway, the last season was on Netflix instead of what was that, or Cartoon Network, I think, the previous 4 or the previous 5. So anyway, that was what, 2014 to 2015, and it just so, watching this first episode, it just made me remember or realize how good this show was or has always been, from story standpoint, from the characters standpoint. The action is so thrilling and exciting, including the episode 1 right now, The Bad Batch. You will find out for yourselves when you watch it on Disney Plus. It's just so action packed and just so many things happening, and very, what's the word I'm looking for, very dynamic. And yeah, just like how it was in the previous seasons. So I was oh, I don't know about you guys, but I feel man, it's like meeting an old friend again. Granted, I gotta tell you, I am a big fan of Star Wars Rebels. Slightly and significantly is oxymoron. I would say slightly. I'll go with slightly more than I did Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Star Wars: The Clone Wars, I was going on and off, out and out. I was busy sometimes. I didn't catch a few episodes here and there, but I tried my best to at least not to be too left out of the overarching arc. Whereas Star Wars Rebels, yeah, I was so into it. So, but yeah, I never for once thought, man. But I gotta tell you, the Clone Wars movie, the first one, the one that hit theaters, wasn't too crazy about that. I remember I was not too crazy about it. I watched it in the theaters. I was but anyway, I'm sorry. I keep rambling on being nostalgia stuff here. But yeah, this episode 1 is just like that. It's exciting, it's thrilling, it's so action packed. There's a lot of things going on. Um, as far as what it is that goes on, so Cody and Captain Rex, suggested this plan to General Anakin Skywalker and Mace Windu, like, hey, we let's infiltrate the Separatist cyber center and retrieve the algorithm from Admiral Trench. So that's the gist of the mission. But um, Captain Rex always has this feeling in his gut. You know what? Echo's probably still alive, and then he sees the photo of his comrades, and it's like, oh, it makes you feel like it gives you that warm fuzzy feeling in your stomach, because the one thing that this show always successfully does is to it always successfully makes you care about clones. um I mean, it's something that, like, I don't know, I guess maybe it's just me, but prior to this show existing, and also prior to the 2D animation one, remember that before the movie came out in theaters, there was a 2D animation. Well, prior to that, before the concept, like, oh, we're gonna have the show between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Prior to that, I was like, really, you gonna try to make us care about clones? But what the show does is make you care about the clones. So when freaking Rex was, like, reminiscing about Echo, I was like, whoa. That is kind of, he goes like, oh. So that's what happens in the beginning of this episode. And then uh Cody's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get help from Clone Force 99, aka the Bad Batch. Bam, booyah! These guys come into the scene, and they enter, and their ship lands, and wow, they really know how to make an entrance. And the Bad Batch, as I'm still trying to understand about them, they call themselves the clones with desirable mutations. And one of the things that because some clones would have, the mutations, they often or occasionally have unintended or unpredictable, I guess you could say, defects uh, on a broader scale. But for these guys, the desirable mutations, it gives them special skills, and also it makes them look distinct from each other, which is kind of cool, right? So these guys, each of them is his own personality, if you will. And yeah, let me read to you here. Their names are, and I got a credit Screen Rant for this. Their names are Hunter. Hunter is the leader. And his skill is that he has heightened senses, and it's revealed in this episode that he can pretty much sense any electromagnetic sign from all across the planet. At one point, his colleague says, "Yes, a map can be wrong, but Hunter never is." Damn, now that is quite the skill set. Um, Wrecker. Now this guy is pretty much a brute, and he only has superhuman strength. So at one point, they crash land, and one of them gets kind of pinned down. And in this episode, Wrecker kind of lifts the whole thing up to save the guy. So that's his specialty. He's a muscle, and his personality is a lot like a high school jock. Somewhat of a bully, it's like somebody who plays a lot of football. Um, Crosshair. Crosshair is a marksman. So Crosshair is like Deadshot. The guy can, like, fire accurately, shoot and, like, hit the target from, like, I don't know, 10 miles away, if you will. Um, And the last one is Tech. Tech is the nerd. Tech is the guy who knows how to manipulate technology, any all kinds of electronics. He's an engineering maestro. He's good at like all kinds of languages, and of course, he's very stereotypical in that the stereotype in any show or movie when you have a nerd that's part of the member of your team, that nerd usually wants to assert or wants to share information, long-winded information, even when you don't ask him to. so so that's his style as well. But this team of rugged individuals, man, these guys, I gotta say, my impression watching them in this episode, way cool. I love them. They're rough around the edges. They kind of remind me of Roughnecks. And um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, a lot of cosplayers are gonna be like going crazy designing their cosplays. I mean, by the time we get to Comic Con or WonderCon, maybe WonderCon in April, you're gonna see a lot of Bad Batch cosplayers, man. It's gonna catch on like wildfire, because they just look awesome and badass to the bone. Um, yeah, that's my impression. And they kind of clash with Cody and Rex, and it's like one of those macho kind of clash, sort of pissing contest. But Hunter comes in and it's like, hey, we're on the same team here, and that's cool of him, right? So if there's any theory as to whether or not the Bad Batch has hidden agenda, there's none of that trace in this episode. Uh, yes, they are like rough around the edges, but they're pretty much good guys in this episode. So yeah, they come to the cyber center, and there's a lot of battles going on here between um, Rex's team, the Bad Batch versus the droids. Oh, so good. You are treated with so much fun in this episode, man. Holy crap. And it's directed by the great Dave Filoni, um, who made his live action directorial debut last fall with The Mandalorian. But Dave Filoni, of course, the guy with the cowboy hat, has given us all these amazing Star Wars animated series. Um, so yeah, he directed this episode, and he knows that we gotta we gotta start out this final season with a bang, with like so much action, and it's a lot. It's packed, the whole thing, the whole episode. One set of droids after another, and they're of course funny because droids some of them are like dumb, like, oh, what is this thing, and then he gets shot in the head. So those parts are very entertaining as well. So in this episode, there's not much of General Anakin Skywalker. There's not much of Mace Windu. We don't see Ashoka outside of the Jedi Council live. None of that yet. It's just the mystery right now is regarding Echo. CT1409. I can't remember the numbers correctly. But anyway, Echo, the mystery is like, oh my God, Echo might survive. He may still be alive. And yeah, by the end of the episode, there's a live signal, and it's coming from none other than Echo. So now Rex is like, oh my God, we got to go to Skako Minor, and we got to rescue that. We got to rescue that son of a gun. So, yeah, I guess to conclude, I don't want to make this video any longer than necessary. Like I said earlier, it's so good to have the show back. And with the risk of repeating myself like a broken record, it's such an action-packed episode, thrilling. I enjoyed every minute of it. I don't have any complaints or criticism per se. The pacing is so good. to see the animation comes back again. After and the thing is, having watched something as great and as solid as The Mandalorian, which is live action, coming into this again, that kind of brings nostalgia feeling, and also solid and great. It just makes you feel happy if you're a fan of the Star Wars universe. Because so far, at least with these two shows, they haven't dropped the ball yet, and I hope they never do. So far, they've pretty much hit the target, and they know how to push the right buttons to entertain us, and it makes you want to see more. At the same time, it is kind of sad that this is a final season, and I think we only get like 12 episodes. If I want to be, if I'm not wrong about that. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad that its final season is, there's only 12 instead of like 13 or whatever. Um, but I think just judging by this first episode, I think what Dave Filoni and the rest of the creative talent has have in store for us, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. They're not gonna like, oh yeah, we're gonna exit or go out on a low note. No, 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 no. Judging from this episode, I think we are in for a great, great final season. So yeah, go enjoy. It's on Disney Plus. Um, if you've seen it, let me know in the comment section down below. Did you like it or did you not like it? If you don't like it, why you don't like it? What are your criticisms about it? And do you agree or disagree with my assessment of today's episode? All right, let me get out of this slideshow image. Oh, by the way, subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell. Come on, there's the slideshow. There you go. um, Lucas Sinclair is underrated. What time does it drop? Okay, so you asked what time does it drop? It dropped right now at midnight. So 3 p.m. Eastern time. Chance Tastic says that is correct. So midnight right now Pacific time. I'm in California. So Owen Malik Arman dies. The ending is on Mandalore. 3 What about Pacific time? Drew Carpenter, right? About the siege of Mandalore happens at the same time as the Battle of Coruscant, so it could, yes. A bunch of you guys just post a bunch of time. Interesting series of comments here. 313 here in Canada. Cheetah CPD says. Did this guy ever read the chat? Well, it's not probably just a video. Nah, I read the chat usually after I do live stream. I don't want to lose my train of thoughts. Because English is my second language, so and more than often I would have a note in front of me when I do live stream. So I want to make sure that I don't get distracted. That's why. But thank you for your chat here, you guys. All right. All right. I think you guys are just posting time here. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you for posting the times that it'll air in your side of the time zone. But I'll be back next week with my live review of episode 2. Thank you so much, you guys. And I won't read the chat that's making fun of me. But it's funny though. I gotta be honest. Some of you guys are very, very, very creative. So, all right, subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell, and I'm gonna get out of this tunnel vision shared screen. Where's the end broadcast? Where's that button? Here it is. And let's rock this.